Multiple U.S. representatives are now issuing very strange and very serious warnings to the public. We're also getting a major update from President Trump, and we're also seeing a incident with Air Force One and a commercial airliner, right? They had to stop a airliner from getting too close to Air Force One, and this is a potential security threat. So let's get into all the details here. You can see here, this is Rep. Tim Burchett. He was given a very strange warning about how there are unidentified objects that our military do not know how to respond to, right? I want you to listen to that in just a second. We're also getting a incident with Air Force One as well too, a plane getting too close. We have an update from President Trump from his Truth Social, and we also have another warning from Rep. Luna, who's a U.S. Congresswoman. Let's listen to what's Rep. Tim Burchett warned of really quick, and then we'll get to these other things. Let's listen to what he said.
What if these are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that who knows how long, and that we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here and they're in these deep water areas, and that's why. I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there, and we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so, to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean.
All right, so you heard that there. Very just strange interaction that he was having with somebody asking him on the streets, and that was in the aftermath of this hearing, this UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon hearing that was in the U.S. Congress just last week, and somebody caught him on the street in the past few days and asked him what exactly does he think is going on, and he said there's 5 to 6 deep water areas that he believes that these, quote, entities, very weird terminology as well too. When you think of the term entities, it doesn't typically mean something like an animal, or typically some type of just mechanical craft as well too. Maybe something in between, right? Some type of, who knows, right? He doesn't know, and it's very strange and peculiar, right? I want you to listen to this really quick too, and then we will get into what happened with Trump's plane and Air Force One. They had to order a plane to stand down and to get away from Air Force One because it was flying right towards it. We will get into that in just a second, and Trump's True Social post, but listen to this really quick.
Okay, while this is still rolling, Mr. Nusatelli, real quick yes or no answers. Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
Okay, does this video scare
so you hear that there, and they went on to say that this video does scare them.
you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes.
Nat?
I had a different reaction. I was really happy that it got out. Thanks for providing
Curiosity killed the cat. All right, Mr. Borland?
Yes, for...
Okay. All right, that...
All right, so you heard that there. That was a supposed UAP that was hit with a Hellfire missile from the U.S. military, and it did split apart to some degree, but then it looked like even the debris behind it regrouped, and started falling. You can see those little 3 pieces of debris behind it. Seems like they kept the same velocity and trajectory to keep moving in the same path as the unidentified aerial phenomenon, whatever it is. So it seems like it would normally separate and change trajectory if it was a normal piece of debris or shrapnel that broke off from a Hellfire missile. And then this thing continued to go on, right? This is after it got hit. It still continues to move at extremely fast speeds. And they're even saying they don't know what it is. This could potentially be like some type of black op program from the US government, some type of black op program from a other military program, potentially like Russia or China, or it could be something else, all right? This rep Tim Burchett was saying, quote, entities, all right? I'm not sure exactly what he's alluding to there, but concerning language and concerning that these things are all coming out at the same time, right? And the reason why this is concerning too is because we're also seeing threats near planes, okay? Near Air Force One. And what if these UAPs, what if we're not able to stop them if they were targeting a leader, a plane, a ship, critical infrastructure, things like this? He's saying we'd have no type of technology that can match this type of movement, especially when it's transmedium, when it's going from the water to the air. Okay, it can move through these mediums very quickly. That's what the rep Burchett was saying. And also, even underwater, they can move very quickly, hundreds of miles an hour underneath the water, and then go out of the water and keep moving at the same speeds and velocities without really slowing down at all. Just like from this Hellfire missile, it barely moved, and then it just seemed like it kept its speed. And he's saying at least of his knowledge, they don't have anything like that. So maybe it's some type of secret weapon systems that the part of the government is using, and then the other part of the government doesn't know about it, and it's creating this conflict. Or maybe it's something else even worse. And he's saying potentially these entities have been here for thousands of years. Just very weird things coming out from our congressman, right? Listen to this to Trump's plane. They had to order a Spirit Airlines plane to get away from Air Force One. And this is a security concern as well, too. What if we see a rogue pilot, right? We've seen these things before. And where these planes go missing, they turn off transponders, things like that. This has happened in other flight situations, aviation situations, and we could see someone go rogue. All right, listen to this really quick.
Well, this is one you don't hear every day. A Spirit Airlines flight heading for Boston got a bit too close to Air Force One over New York on Tuesday. Listen to this.
Pay attention, Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right. Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right now. Spirit Wings 1300, turn 20 degrees right immediately. 20 degrees right. Pay attention. Spirit 1300, traffic's off your left wing by 8 miles, 747. I'm sure you can see who it is. It's flight level 320, maintain 330. I'll keep an eye out for him. He's white and blue. Pay attention. Get off the iPad.
Goodness gracious. A Spirit spokesperson says Spirit Airlines Flight 1300 followed procedures and air traffic control instructions while en route to Boston and landed uneventfully at Boston. Safety is always our top priority, the spokesperson said.
All right, so you heard that there. This Spirit Airlines plane was flying directly towards Air Force One, all right, and they had to order them, air traffic control, to get out the way. Seems like a careless mistake, more of just, carelessness, negligence. But what if there was something intentional where somebody just didn't stop and they kept moving towards some type of target? Okay, it's something that could happen. Most likely not. It's low probability, but it's just something to think about, especially when we are getting these warnings from top U.S. representatives for these UAPs as well too. We've seen these weird drone incursions along military bases. You remember that maybe, I don't know, 10 months ago, 11 months ago. It was a few months before Trump got in, when he was in the transition period. There was all these weird drones incursions around U.S. military installation and bases, and there were even air traffic controller recordings of them saying, "We don't know what this is." They had to shut down their runway. It wasn't their own drones and their own operations, okay? And some of them were even saying that there were like UAP like things going on, right? So who knows what actually is happening. But it's concerning if our military actually cannot respond to these things. What would they do if they did target, let's say, the president or a high-level official's plane or anything along those lines, especially while they were in flight over an ocean, anything like that? They're extremely vulnerable. And who knows, right? He's saying they're from these deep water areas. Like it's very just weird, esoteric. I'm not sure if this is like some type of, some type of narrative they're setting up. But it is concerning to see these videos, to hear from, there's been lots of testimony from top military officials, and you even heard that there, some of them going on record saying that they are worried about this specific video and many other videos as well too. So let me know what you guys think about that. All right. And also, Trump just announced here on his Truth Social as well too. He's saying that this is what he said: "I am pleased to inform our many USA patriots that I am designating Antifa, a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster, as a major terror organization. And I will also be strongly recommending that those funding it will be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter." All right, so Trump's even saying he's making a move on some of these groups domestically inside the United States. All right, so this is definitely going to change things up and potentially cause a chilling effect, and a lot of these groups could potentially cause some of them to split up or disband before there are investigations and things like that and charges that come down behind this. Okay, so major step for the president to announce this. All right, we haven't really seen things like this, at least there have been designations for right-wing groups under previous administrations like Biden and Obama, but I don't think we've seen this from a Republican president designating left-wing groups under these designations. So definitely is going to cause big changes, all right, for certain groups and certain organizers that are out in the open with these events and things like that. All right, so it'll probably be challenged in court, most likely. There most likely will be some type of like low-level judge that will try to block it, maybe a federal judge, and then it could potentially even go to the Supreme Court. If somebody is actually arrested and charged on these charges, they could try to take it all the way there. So we will see if this sticks, but it's a major tide change for President Trump to announce this. And hopefully a lot of these groups will be broken up and it will lower the temperature in the country, all right? Because a lot of these, they get together in groups, people egg each other on, people rile each other up, people organize things. There's people that find useful idiots in these groups to do the things they want to do, all right? And a lot of times the people will be untouched, right? The other people will be untouched, and then the useful idiot is like the fall guy, the patsy for the group that they use. So it's just, it's breeding a lot of stuff that we're seeing, all right? So let me know what you think of this down below, all right? Let me know what you guys think of these warnings from Rep. Tim Burchett as well, too. Definitely just weird. The timing of this is strange. I'm just wondering why they are disclosing a lot of this UAP stuff. Like, what are they setting up? Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down below. Give me your best theories and ideas. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying prepared out there. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.